Thank you, Steve. Well, let me thank you all. Please be seated. Let me start by saluting Michelle, from whom we've just heard, Michelle Nunn, CEO of the Points of Light Institute, in whom I have so much confidence, and we are so lucky to have her running this wonderful organization. I'm thrilled that our son Neil and Michelle together have taken the helm together as the Points of Light movement enters a new and exciting chapter. While I'm at it, let me also salute the many sector leaders, our previous Point of Light Award winners, and finally our daily Point of Light for today, Mallory Myers, of Big Event fame. If you don't know about Big Event, stick around. It's a wonderful program exemplifying the Aggie spirit of service. Some of you may have gotten my mass email this week. Freudian slip only. About today's event. And if you did, please don't turn me in as an inveterate spammer. But if you look at Mallory and the Corps of Cadets, and indeed the entire student body, I honestly couldn't imagine a better place to invite our president to celebrate community service than right here on this campus. That's one of the key reasons I'm so proud to have our Bush School of Government and Public Service here. I need to get out of class, those guys. Okay. Here I would be remiss if I did not very quickly brag on this school. We're here to talk about serving others, and it is estimated that U.S. nonprofit organizations over the next decade need to attract some 640,000 new leaders. And I'm proud that our Bush School trains and motivates leaders who are ready to step in and advance the work in the nonprofit fields that inspires all of us here today. In fact, I'm just so proud of our Bush School that I hesitate to mention that the only stain on our school's reputation came a few years ago when we lost a critical softball game in the coveted Armadillo Cup against the LBJ School over in Austin. Bob Gates was our dean then. He was our dean then. I know Bob has a lot of fans here, and I really do hate to say this when he isn't here to defend himself. But frankly, I was disappointed in Bob over that loss. And I hate to dwell on that one softball game, but I thought some of our players were out of position, and the batting lineup needed some tweaking. Okay. My God, look who's. Okay. Since then, he's gone to even bigger and better things and made all of us in the Aggie family very proud in the process. So please, you already welcomed him. Welcome back home to Aggie Land, our superb Secretary of Defense, our own Bob Gates. Once again. And now for the main event. It seems altogether fitting that the occasion of our first meeting since the President's inauguration should come over the issue of community service, since it was the same service that brought us together in the first place. It was September 2005, and our hometown of Houston had just welcomed tens of thousands of evacuees from Hurricane Katrina. President Clinton and I were hosting a briefing by local officials out there, and one of the national leaders who contributed to our work that day was then Senator Obama. I might add there were plenty of other folks who also showed up in Houston who seemed mostly concerned not with the evacuees and their plight, but with getting media attention, getting on the tube. And that was not Senator Obama. He came without fanfare, and I could quickly see he was someone who genuinely cared about helping others. So it was no surprise So it is no surprise that on the eve of his historic inauguration, our president sounded the call to service. We cannot allow any idle hands, President-elect Obama said this past January. Everybody's got to be involved. Everybody's going to have to pitch in. Once in office, both the President and First Lady have followed through by launching their United We Serve campaign, calling on all Americans to serve our communities and be a part of building a better future for our country. Our 44th President is absolutely right that there isn't a more important time than now for us all to get involved. So I salute the President for his leadership in this issue, and Barbara and I are delighted to join all of you in welcoming him now to Texas A&M University. Ladies and gentlemen, the 44th President of the United States, President Barack Obama.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, howdy, Aggies. All right. It is an honor to be here with all of you today at this outstanding university. Now, I was told that if the winds had been different today, President Bush would have parachuted in to kick things off here. That's the story. But that's okay. I am still thrilled to be introduced by this man whose vision of service we celebrate today, and whose life of service is an inspiration to all of us. And much to his likely embarrassment, I'm going to talk a little more about the singular nature and impact of that service in a minute. But before I do, I'd like to recognize several other people joining us today, starting with President Bush's extraordinary wife, Mrs. Barbara Bush, where'd she go? Madam First Lady. There she is over there. As we all know, Mrs. Bush has an impressive record of service herself, particularly her tremendous work to promote family literacy across this country. And so we are very, very grateful for everything that she's done on behalf of our nation. We have our Secretary of Defense here, Secretary Bob Gates, who I think you know a little bit about. He has served for 4 decades under 8 presidents with integrity, with candor, with an undying commitment to keep this nation safe. And I know how much he loved his time as president here at A&M, which is why he was relieved to hear about this week's game is out at Kansas State. I didn't want him sneaking away to relive his glory days, leading Yale practice, never returning to Washington.